Good day, this is Denver Fernandez here, and in this video I'll be talking about some amazing facts about the Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb. So Aurangzeb was the 6th Mughal Emperor and he ruled for nearly 49 years. And the area which he ruled was as big as 4 million square kilometers. He had nearly 158 million subjects, and he is considered to be the last effective Mughal ruler. Even after him, there were many Mughal rulers, but they were not as powerful as Aurangzeb was. Under his rule, India became the world's largest economy and biggest manufacturing power, worth nearly one-fourth of the world's GDP, surpassing Qing China. So Aurangzeb was actually one of the richest men on earth during his time. If you look at this picture, you will get an idea about Aurangzeb's India. It stretches from Kabul in the north to Tamil Nadu in the south. But the way Aurangzeb came to power was actually very brutal. He defeated his elder brother Dara Suku, who Shah Jahan actually wanted to be the next emperor. Dara Suku believed in Akbar's philosophy, and Aurangzeb believed that it was quite liberal. And Dara Suku was actually fascinated by Hinduism, especially the Upanishads. But that was not the reason why Aurangzeb was against Dara Suku. Shah Jahan was very fond of Dara Suku, and he treated him as a darling and discriminated his other sons. And Dara Suku even waged war against Aurangzeb to gain power. Another famous war which Aurangzeb took part in was the Anglo-Mughal War, in which Aurangzeb defeated the East India Company. Even after the East India Company was defeated, the East India Company made a pact with Aurangzeb. They asked for his pardon, and Aurangzeb allowed them to start a few mills in different parts of his kingdom, that was India. There's another connection between Aurangzeb and the British. There's a famous pirate called Henry Every, who made a fortune by raiding Aurangzeb's ships heading to Mecca. And Aurangzeb was deeply angered by Henry Every's actions, that he actually closed down many East India Company's offices and told the British that he will open businesses only after Henry Every is caught. But Henry Every was never caught. From a literary perspective, John Dryden wrote the famous play Aurangzeb while Aurangzeb was still living. There's another famous play in Tamil by Indira Parthasarathi titled Aurangzeb that actually celebrates Aurangzeb as a good leader with certain flaws. The picture you're looking at is actually not Taj Mahal, it's Biblica Maqbara, a mausoleum of Aurangzeb's wife Dilras Banu Begum that was commissioned by him. So this is a fun fact. It's even called as mini Taj Mahal. So there are certain specialities about Aurangzeb's coins. Earlier, verses from Quran were imprinted on coins, but Aurangzeb actually stopped that. And his coins actually look round just like the moon. So another interesting fact is that he embraced the lunar calendar instead of embracing the solar calendar. So look at these pages. These were actually handwritten by Aurangzeb. Aurangzeb during his free time created handwritten copies of the Holy Quran, which became very popular. Even after his death, he wrote about it in his will. But Aurangzeb was not a communal person. He did not hate people of other religions. So according to historian Babu Nandigrah Banerjee, no one should accuse Aurangzeb of being communal minded. In his administration, the state policy was formulated by Hindus. 2 Hindus held the highest position in the state treasury. Some prejudiced Muslims even questioned the merits of his decisions to appoint non-Muslims to such high offices. Aurangzeb, the emperor, refuted that by stating that He had been following the dictates of the Sharia, Islamic law, which demands appointing right persons in the right positions. During Aurangzeb's long reign of 50 years, many Hindus, notably Jaswant Singh, Raja Rajrup, Kabir Singh, Arangnath Singh, Prem Dev Singh, Dilip Roy, etc., held high administrative positions. Two of the highest ranked generals in Aurangzeb's administration, Jaswant Singh and Jaya Singh, were Hindus. Other notable Hindu generals who commanded the garrison of 2 to 5,000 soldiers were Raja Bhim Singh of Udaipur, Indra Singh, Chalaji, and Arjuji. One wonders if Aurangzeb was hostile to Hindus. Why would he position all these Hindus to high positions of authority, especially in the military, who could have mutinied against him and removed him from his throne? So this line is actually from the blog Mythbuster. Emperor Akbar had 14 Hindu Mansabdars, high officials, in his court. Shah Jahan had only 105. Aurangzeb actually had 148 Hindu high officials in his court. The 1946 edition of the history textbook Introduction to History, used in Bengal for the 5th and 6th grade, states, if Aurangzeb had the intention of demolishing temples to make way for mosques, there would not have been a single temple standing erect in India. On the contrary, Aurangzeb donated huge estates for the use of temple sites and support thereof in Benares, Kashmir, and elsewhere. The official documentations for these land grants are still extant. So this picture you see, it's a stone inscription in the historic Balaji or Vishnu temple located in the north of Chitrankut, Balagat, still shows that it was commissioned by the emperor himself. So Emperor Aurangzeb actually helped in the building of so many temples. So this is the picture of the firman of Aurangzeb in Benares Hindu University. So this is the text of that firman. If it states in the end, therefore our royal command is that after the arrival of our illustrious order, you should direct that in the future no person shall in unlawful ways interfere or disturb Brahmins and other Hindu residents in those places, so that they may remain in their occupation and continue with peace of mind and offer up prayers for the continuance of our God-given empire that is destined to last to all time. Consider this as an urgent matter. During the 50-year reign of Aurangzeb, not a single Hindu was forced to embrace Islam. He did not interfere with any Hindu religious activities. So this is from the same textbook. Alexander Hamilton, a famous British historian, toured India during the time of Aurangzeb. So he observed that everyone was free to serve and worship God in his own way. It is true that Jisi Attacks was lifted during the reign of Akbar and Jahangir, and that Aurangzeb later reinstated this. Before I delve into the subject of Aurangzeb's Jisi Attacks or taxing the non-Muslims, it is worthwhile to point out that jizya is nothing more than a war tax which was collected only from able-bodied young non-Muslim male citizens living in Muslim country who did not want to volunteer for the defense of the country. So another interesting fact about Aurangzeb is that even though he started the jizya tax, that is a tax on non-Muslims, he did it after revoking so many other taxes which Shah Jahan had started. In case he failed to protect a village from military exploitation, he used to return this jizya tax, which was a war tax. Another great achievement by Aurangzeb was that he abolished the practice of Sadhi in 1664. The British abolished the practice only in 1829. So Aurangzeb actually did it much before the British. So this is actually Aurangzeb's grave. Aurangzeb believed in a simple life. So he wanted a very, very simple grave, unlike the grave of his father. So this is what he said: "No marble sheet should shield me from the sky as I lie there, one with the earth." Thank you for watching.